All right. Hello, everyone. I want to showcase a couple drawing tools here from the suite. And if you're interested in any of these, you can purchase these here on a monthly or 3 monthly basis. Uh, if you're also interested in going through WAP, you can do it through there. If you're interested in a free trial, just go all the way down to the bottom to contact us. Send me a message and let me know you're interested in the free trial. Uh, but what I'll be showing today is the drawing export. We'll be using some text annotations, definitely the position tool, which is probably one of my favorite tools here. We'll definitely be using line tool, the rejection block, fair value gap, and order block tool. If you're interested in this, again, just reach out. So here we have M and Q on a 5-minute chart. What I'm interested in here is an accumulation, a manipulation lower, and then the distribution higher, right? This is how I would use these tools to frame a trade. So I'm going to bring in just the zone tool. It's one of the tools I use the least, but to someone else, it may be useful. So this is my accumulation. I can copy that, or I can just create a new one. From here, we have a very clear manipulation lower, and I'll be explaining why we call that a manipulation. But from here, it's a distribution higher, distribution higher. Okay. The reason I'm calling this a manipulation lower is because, sure, there's accumulation here, but there is clear sell side down here. So here is where we use the line tool, right, with preset text of sell side. And over here is more sell side. These two are sell sides, but they're a little more special. They're what I would consider relative equal lows. So if we go here to the text template, I don't have that in here. I can set more, or I can replace some of those, but instead I'm just going to do a set custom text, and we'll call it relative rel. So we have two. Here's where I'm going to use the text annotation tool. So we'll mark this as 2 liquidity levels. One thing that's important to me, right, in determining this as a sell side, as sell side manipulation, is the fact that this really displaces. And what does that displacement do to me after this accumulation? This, to me, is what I would consider inducement, which tricks traders short. So this, with the text annotation tool, we can also enter call out mode. After we click call out mode, we can point it to where we want it to reference. So we have the displacement lower, below the relative equal, below the sell side, which are our two liquidity levels. So now I need to start framing a trade, okay? I'm going to clear this out since we now have the frame here. Now I need to start looking, where can I enter a trade, right? I have a fair value gap right here. I'm going to clean this up really quick. But I have a fair value gap. Notice that the fair value gap goes to the session end automatically. We can cut it, extend it, whatever we want, right? But to me, it's fine there. So notice that we respect the fair value gap here. We wick through it. This wick is abnormal. This to me is going to be a rejection block, but that's not going to be in play right now. What I'm seeing is, are we going to close above it or not? Eventually, we create a down close candle. With this down close candle, we then come up higher, and eventually we do inverse this fair value gap. And on that inversion, right, when this candle closes, it also closes above this body of the red candle, and it does it in a fashion with 3 up close candles. So this to me is going to be a bullish rejection block from the red candle. Sorry, a bullish order block. So we can do it like this. We'll go order block. And currently I don't have it to the single ones. I have not updated it yet. Have not installed it yet. It has been updated but not installed. And it is live on the website right now. I don't have the current live one, but it is live if you go to, whenever you do get access. That part should be fixed. So once we close above, we confirm the order block. We inverse this fair value gap. So now I'm looking for a trade. I can wait for the trade back into the order block, or if it does not want to come back to the order block, eventually we see it does here, but we messed out on this whole move, right? Where I would look for the entry is going to be this rejection block. Sorry, that was a opening range, but we use this rejection block. That's going to be my entry. Once we don't have to close above it, but once we trade above it. So the way I'm going to frame this trade is going to be my stop is going to be at the low of the order block because I need to allow for it to touch the order block or trade into it. But I need to get into this trade. So that's my entry. And what I'm going to target is going to be this buy side, which also has relative equal highs. This one right here is a little bit lower than this one. So this one takes it out slightly. And this is where I think perfect place to show the precision tool. Sorry, the price time marker. We'll place it here. I only want to show the high. So we have the high and then we have the time of that candle also. And we see that 86.50 is slightly lower than 87.25. So this candle here, in fact, does slightly take this high out. To me, these are still relative equal highs, a good liquidity level. So that's going to be our very first target. I'm just going to mark it here. And the position tool, right? This is probably one of my favorites. Right now, we see we have a 1.03R. I don't have a quantity showing right now, so I'll put that there, a quantity of 1. And one thing I'm going to do is we're going to go to our risk presets, sorry, our risk calculation, and a fixed size of 2. So now we see the quantity updated to 2, and we see that the risk and the reward have been updated, and that calculates automatically. I'm gonna go to the risk presets where we have 2 contracts with 2 targets, right? You can come in here and you can go to the properties and really set this up to however you want. You can have your own custom predefined values. But here I have one saved already with 2 contracts and 2 targets. We load that in, and notice that we get a second target to populate, right? Our initial target is going to be here. Second target is going to be, if I believe this to be a manipulation leg, we're going to use a deviation of this manipulation leg. And then we'll use whatever is above this liquidity target, we'll use that as our second area where we want to target, which we see we get right here on this candle. And this one has a 1.66R. If we want the net RR, we can also get that in there. So that has a net of 0.83 and a net of 0.51. We can also, everything that we toggle for this is going to be within the brackets. So range and ticks here, price, and percentage. So it's a very useful tool. We can even take our trades based on this. So let's declutter the chart a little bit. If I wanted to take this, right, let's say we cross above. The moment we cross above, if I don't want to use Ninja Trader's chart trader, what I can do is on the cross above, I can submit my orders with the place orders. And notice that I'm not connected to an account. So we'll go to properties. Down towards the bottom, account. I just want to show this with simulation. And also this does have pushover functionality, so you can get messages to your phone. So from here, we'll click on it. We'll place our orders. Says we're below, rejected. Interesting. Let's see, did I click the right one? Interesting. $13. So I have $13 in a simulation account. So let's do this. Let's edit. We'll reset that account. I'm not sure how that happened, but let's cancel the orders. Yes. Let's try to place them. All right, perfect. Working. So now that it's working right, price is above here, so that's why it submitted successfully. Pretty much what will happen is when we trade back into it, it'll submit both the take profits and it'll submit the stop loss. And I'll show that functionality here. I'll show the neatness of that. But what I like about this whole suite also is everything works together, right? Let's say for some reason we wanted to use this quadrant of the fair value gaps, whatever reason is part of our analysis. What I can do is I can go into here, I can right click, and everything for this trading session is going to be exported when I do export drawings for date. We see the start times, the end times, what the tool was, whether it was bullish or bearish, the interval, the labels we created on it, the open, high, lows, right? Some of these only pertain to certain tools. The fair value gap that had the quadrants in it, right? Fair value gap tool was a bearish 5-minute. It had the quadrants enabled. We get the quadrants marked out along with the top and bottom prices, the date and times. So everything just works together. Especially, this is very useful if you're a beginner trader where you're really trying to journal everything. It helps you have that data right there, that accurate data. No guesswork, right? Imagine trying to mark all these levels out by yourself. And this is exported to your documents in the Trader 8 and a folder called Drawing Export, which should be created whenever you do your first export. So that's how I would frame a trade.